that I feared because I was so comfortable having a salary, and knowing what I was going to bring home every week. And so when my son passed away,
All right, Melissa. So explain to myself and explain to the audience what inspired you to make jewelry.
So those trips to New York, and I told you about the ring earlier. What inspired me to take it to this level was actually the death or the transitioning of my son.
Okay.
So I was working full-time with a wonderful organization called Pearls for Teen Girls. And my son suddenly passed away. He drowned in a lake in East Troy in the summer of 2018. He had just completed his 8th grade year of middle school. He was going on to high school. Beautiful boy, basketball player, just loving, kind, beautiful spirit, and he's gone. And I've always had the creative edge on me. So I've always been a creator, been an artist, and have always wanted to be home with my children. Okay. A dream of mine, but a dream that I feared because I was so comfortable having a salary, and knowing what I was going to bring home every week. And so when my son passed away, my husband completely supported the decision of me just not going back to work. So he passed and I never went back to work. Right. And I used the jewelry. I used the working with the metals and the healing aspects of the crystals in an intentional way to help to facilitate my healing. And as a result, I was able to do that, and I've been able to do that for other people. Right. So that is my biggest inspiration.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Now, would you say a lot of your jewelry and your healing and what you're doing for other people, would you say that's the spirit of your son? That's what his spirit is doing?
Yes.
To yourself and to even bleed it off to other individuals.
I have chills right now because that's exactly what it is. And of course, I think about him often, but when I think about where I am, of course, God is first. And him even allowing my son to pass away, where most people would, just be in a perpetual state of grief, I was almost immediately able to see the beauty in not only his living, but his transition.
Really?
Yes. So, and that I know is unique all in itself, and I have periods where I allow myself to be sad and I allow myself to feel the emotions of his physical absence, but he is not gone. Right. He's not gone. He's, here, and I'm a Muslim, and there's a scripture in the Quran that says, "Speak not of those who are slain in the way of Allah as dead; they are alive, but you perceive not." And so I perceive him as being alive. Every day I get up and I'm able to do something that I otherwise would not have done if he were physically here.
Yeah. I believe that our loved ones they leave us in physical form, but I think our loved ones is always around.
Always, because energy cannot be destroyed. It's only transferred.
Yes. Mm-hmm. All right, so we'll move on to the next question. What has been the single most important jewelry making skill you have learned, and why? And what I mean by that is, like earlier you mentioned about wires and the gauge. You mentioned about tools. like when you first started, right, you might have was learning, and then you might have had a breakthrough and said, oh, let me do it like this. I've been struggling with doing it like this for the longest. Explain that to the audience.
I think
Greenwood Park Gallery and Framing open for all of your art needs. Located at 4233 West Fond du Lac Avenue, open Mondays through Fridays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Now featuring African American and contemporary artwork for local, national, and international artists. Your local shop for masks and statuettes, mud cloths, royal cloths, and salt lamps. Call 414-444-5166 or follow their Facebook. Greenwood Park Gallery and Framing, 4233 West Fond du Lac Avenue.
The thing that really comes to mind is metalsmithing. So when we talk about the single most valuable thing that I've learned, it was metalsmithing. So you have wire wrapping, which a lot of this is just really me self-teaching.
Yeah.
But when I did seek out teachers in the metalsmithing realm, where you got the fire involved, you have, the soldering and all the different dyes and stuff that you can use. I think that was the most valuable, because when you make a piece such as this one, which is a metalsmithed piece, everything is solid and all these pieces have come together into one piece that cannot be, or it's very difficult to separate them. So I would say, I took some classes at MATC and UWM, and I studied under a couple of metalsmith masters that allowed me to expand my skill set. But then I keep returning to this. I think that the wire wrapping is my passion.
Right.
So the single most important skill when it comes to that, I would definitely say using what I have in my environment to make what it is that I need to make. Sometimes there are tools that you can buy, and sometimes they're expensive, but some of the things, like you could buy a kit to make these coils, but I used a Sharpie to make each of these coils, or like an ink pen. So being able to use what you have to benefit you instead of searching outside of what I already have, and sometimes it's necessary, but to find what it is that I need. And I think, like all of this, there are spiritual lessons in it, because sometimes I feel personally, and I know a lot of people feel like there's something missing in their life, and sometimes we search outside of ourselves or look to other people for something that's missing, because we don't see the value in what we already have, and we don't have gratitude for what we already have. So I'm always big on how can I use what I already have instead of trying to find something new, because I feel like everything that we want, everything that we desire is already in us. We just have to mine it out. Right.
So basically, you use a lot of household items. You don't have to go invest into a lot of tools and stuff. Now, a few things of questions about what you mentioned. What did you call it? You called it a metalsmith. Are you a certified metalsmith, or is that something that is a certification?
It is. It's not like it used to be, though, because I'm not sure where you went to high school, but I know Marshall used to have like a metalsmithing program, and I believe Tech did too.
Yeah, I went to Tech.
You went to Tech, okay. So did they have a metalsmithing program?
I don't remember.
You don't?
I know they had welding. They had tool and die, but I don't remember metalsmithing.
When the schools, back in the 70s, when the schools were really trade focused, really trade focused, it was a skill that you could learn in high school. It was a skill that was really taught as a trade, even at MATC. And now they have the classes, but the metalsmithing classes are under craft classes, so it's not taught as a certifiable skill, at least not here. You can go to UWM and get a degree in the fine arts and, make jewelry smithing your focus, or metalsmithing your focus, and get a degree in that. And I don't want to speak outside of my own realm of knowledge, because you may be able to get some sort of certification outside of like formal college that I'm not aware of. But I feel like the best way to do it is that you get up under a master, you be an apprentice and learn. Right. And
Now, speaking of that, off camera, you were speaking about an apprentice. So you do have an apprentice. Really?
Yes.
So explain that process and what got you into doing that, and the fact that you're now teaching this. So explain that to the audience.
So as an artist, sometimes for me, there can be an imbalance, when you're an artist and then you have the business aspect of the art, and sometimes that could just be a lot.
I know.
It's like, I just want to do one thing. And so,
The Artist Connection podcast was generated from many conversations with local artists around the lack of opportunity to showcase their talent. Here at Greenwood Park Gallery and Framing, we recognize our local talent and strive to connect artists with the community. Please enjoy this opportunity to hear from local artists and learn more about what inspires their work.
Greenwood Park Gallery and Framing specializes in custom framing, printing on canvas, and selling contemporary and African American art, all housed in our 3,000 square foot art gallery. We are centrally located in Milwaukee at 4233 West Fond du Lac Avenue. We recognize local artists and strive to connect local talent with the community. We're asking for your support. Contact us to find out how you can help sponsor the work we're doing to highlight local artists in our community.